My name is Jeffrey C. I'm currently the VP of Galleon.ph. We're now under the bigger company Sterling Group of Paper. So they also own Doggy Maria Rice, if you're familiar. I just wanted to know before I start my presentation, because it's primarily geared towards e-commerce. How many e-commerce players are in here, in the room? Big or small? All right. So basically, I wanted to present the pillars, what I think are the pillars for very good or strong marketing for e-commerce specifically. So before that, I wanted to let the other people know what Galleon is, for those of you who don't know what it is at this point. So Galleon.ph is an e-commerce website on the front end. It looks and feels like a regular standard e-commerce website, only that it has a long delivery time because all the items are coming from abroad. So we brand our website, or Galleon, as products not available in the Philippines or hard to find items. Whenever you can't find an item in a mall or in a store locally, you go to Galleon, most likely you'll find it. And on the back end of it, we're essentially a buy on behalf service. So what happens when you buy on Galleon.ph, when you do a checkout, what we do is we simply buy it on US retailers like Amazon and then ship it to the Philippines directly to your doorstep. So all this happens on the website for the customer. The customer will see the price of the item, international shipping costs, duties and taxes, local shipping, so all in, including our margins, of course. And it's a final price, so there's no surprise fees, easy shopping for hard to find items. All right, so basically I explained what Galleon is, so I'll skip the slide. So these are what I believe are the strong pillars of an e-commerce marketing campaign, you would say. So it would, number one is visits or lead generation. How could you drive traffic to your website? Because e-commerce is essentially like a store. It's not a physical store wherein you need to rent a place or a retail outlet and wait for foot traffic to come in. So on a digital space, your playground is the web. It's all digital. So you look for places where you would most likely to get found by your prospect clients or your target consumers. Next would be email marketing. This is one of the most important, I would say, marketing pillars that you would need to set up early on and have a very good hold on. Not only is it cheap, but it's also very efficient, which I will discuss a bit later on. And remarketing, which is essentially bringing customers who've been to your site back to your website. So these are usually the ads that follow customers, once they exit a website. So if you find some websites a bit annoying, it's essentially a remarketing play. All right, so I basically, because this presentation is from one of the documents I've created, which is essentially a lot of bullets and sub-bullets. I've tried to group the pillars into paid and free options or paid and free strategies, right? So along the way, along these three pillars, I would try to explain as much as possible, as of my knowledge, what are the paid and free options for each pillars are. Of course, you would be very interested in the free option because it costs nothing. It might be a bit difficult to do, but essentially it's free, it's efficient, right? And it might be efficient. So let's go first for visits and lead generation. So essentially, definition, just so we're on the same page, is that this is the sending of traffic to the website and collecting emails, right? So that you could basically capture customers going to your website. This is the first step, this is essentially the first foot into your store. So it's very crucial that you get that in play. All right, so for paid online visits, these are the things. Some of these we're already putting into play. Some of these we're still adjusting along the way, and we're also learning along the way, right? So with AdWords, AdWords is Google Ads. It's actually going to be renamed as Google Ads to make it less confusing for a lot of people, especially the people who would be just starting off doing online marketing. So of course there would be the search ads, which is the probably one of the things you see most usual whenever you make a search on Google. This would be the first search results that show up and would be labeled as paid. It could also be ads that would show on the right side of the search bar, which would also be labeled as paid. So that's how Google usually does it. They always label things as paid. So you know it's actually an advertisement that is being shown to you. So for people who are trying to capture a specific keyword, very specific or related to the website, to the e-commerce site, they usually want to play around with this, you know, select the first keyword. So for us with Galleon, number one would be the brand, right? Because although the first thing that you would see even without ads would be still our brand when you search for Galleon or a misspelling of Galleon, we still want to be shown on the top page just so competitors won't take advantage of it, right? That's a bit relevant. Another example would be search ads for, you know, related product or services or competitors, so it's the other way around. And as well as keywords related to, you know, shipping items from US to Philippines. So every time people search for US to Philippine products, we have an ad for that. So you'd have to measure, of course, the conversion rate for those keywords, but then again, that would be another presentation altogether. Next one will be shopping ads. This is very interesting. This was, I believe, Google just released this sometime late last year. The first time I saw it was on my mobile. Lazada was already implementing it. Lazada is always the first on these things. So essentially, how shopping ads are, sorry, I don't have any visuals, but maybe you could just Google it for now or take note. But shopping ads are awesome for any e-commerce site because it essentially shows users results from your website that contains product name, photo, and price. And it's so easy for consumers to understand what you're selling, what the price is, and the customer is actually one click away from your store. Because once they click on that, they easily get redirected to your website, and they're one click away from that buy now button. Display banner ads would be, you know, the regular display ads. It could be static. It could also be video ads, which is number 4. So there's also third-party players who you could work with these, you know, if you want a more managed solution. But AdWords works fine at this point. You know, it's very convenient to do. Similarly, you could post things on YouTube. For us, our experience here, not so great, so we kind of stopped it. I'll explain it to you very briefly what happened. So what we did was to try to target a specific demographic, age range about 25 to 35 or about 40. Problem is when we dug into the results and saw what channels or what videos the ads was playing in, we found out that it's mostly cartoons. You know why? Because the parents or the kids of the parents usually get their parents' phone and watch, you know, kids shows on YouTube using their account. So it's irrelevant. I'm not targeting my audience properly, so it's a waste of time. So sometimes you really have to dig in, you know, with the results. All right. So next is Facebook and Instagram. So of course there's the easy boost post from your Facebook page. You can just click on, if you're an admin, you could easily be shown the boost post, which encourages you to basically target existing Facebook page followers. Photo image ads is also one. So these would be the one standard or one single image ad that would be shown to a target audience. Video ads, very similar. For video ads, I think right now there's like different types of video ads. which is a bit similar to YouTube ads, which is unskippable ads, wherein it's short, 5 seconds or 10 seconds, which means you capture the audience time within that 5 to 10 seconds, because they have no choice, they can't skip the ad. So that's really great for you if you have a short message that you want to get across to your consumers. Leads ads would be more of a collection of emails, so it's essentially creating a form and a text field wherein customers enter their details and enter their email information, so you capture it, which would then be ported to your newsletter, which I will go to later on. Carousel ads would be ads for multiple products. So this could be in line with you uploading your feed file. So if you have already a solid tech team, or if you're using an existing e-commerce engine, Facebook makes it actually easy for you to integrate with the existing e-commerce portals that you're using, or e-commerce applications that you're using, so that you could immediately port in or put in your products into your carousel ads. Collection ads, it's a bit different from carousel ad in such a way that it can include video. Canvas ads would be more of the magazine style of an ad, wherein you could create essentially like a, how would I say it, like a page style format, wherein if a user clicks on your ad, it basically takes over the whole screen of a customer and blows up as a whole image. And there you could actually explain in detail more about your service or your product. You could start off with your video, banner ads, text, information, important information about your service. And the next would be cross-posting. So we're actually doing a lot of this. We're cross-posting on comparison websites like iPrice. We're also cross-posting on, or posting coupons on coupon sites, right? So the coupon sites would be voucher codes, PH, and other popular ones. Cashback websites, this would be Shopback. So if you actually go around, looking for e-commerce sites or looking for online shopping listings, most likely you would find Galleon somewhere out there, posted, because we're kind of all over the place. Because we want to be positioned as such, so that we can be remembered as one of the major e-commerce players, in that if customers want something not available on Lazada or on online stores, offline stores, they could go to Galleon and shop there. Affiliate platforms, so we've been actively doing this for more than 6 months. It's been quite effective for us, I believe. It would, of course, also be dependent on the affiliate partners that you would have. So affiliate websites who would need publishers to get on board on their platform, so that they could, present all the affiliate partners that they could promote. So if you recall, if you're familiar, Amazon was really aggressive with affiliate marketing. They made it publicly available. Everyone could just register and then have an affiliate account, make a website, put on ads, put on links every time someone clicks on an ad, or sorry, not an ad, a link or a redirect to Amazon. Amazon would then monitor that user, and once it converts, the conversion would be credited back to the customer. So that's really exciting for publishers. And publishers are always looking for opportunities to make money online as well, so that they could continue on publishing content. All right. The next one would be blog and related websites. So this would be advertorials, review write-ups. Could be as large as Summit Media Magazine, or it could be just bloggers that you contact. You just have to get their maybe basic analytics to understand who their market is, and of course look at their content, because the content would obviously sometimes show what audience they're catering to, right? And then ad partners, as mentioned before, you could there's a lot of Philippine ad services that offer online that could actually do most of these things except for cross-posting, because cross-posting would be, I believe, another wouldn't be advertising in a way. It's more of like marketing and selling products. So there's also a whole set of companies that helps you actually do cross-posting if you have a large inventory base, or if you don't want to manage posting the inventory as well as shipping that inventory. So if you want, you could just let me know later. I could introduce you to these companies. So with the free, one thing I missed here on this presentation was search engine optimization, or SEO, which is essentially properly setting up your website so that Google could crawl you, could get your information so that you could be on the top of the page whenever customers search your brand, your products on your website. Right, so that's very crucial for any e-commerce website to be that there, because if you have a unique content, if you have items that's not available elsewhere, or you're not cross-posting on Lazada, and you have a good sized audience of people looking or searching for that product or that keyword, then you could essentially get those customers for free, technically. Utilizing social media brand pages, of course, there's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. It could go on and on. Really depends on who your target is. A lot of the social media channels, though are right now mostly catered to youthful people. So like Snapchat, I'm not sure how many people here are on Snapchat. And there's also this one app I just downloaded, keeps on annoying me via ad on Facebook, TikTok. I'm not sure if you've heard about it. It's quite interesting actually. So yeah, but you just have to see who the audience is there, who are the publishers there, to understand if it's time to get on board on that media platform to engage with your customers. Let's skip to number 3 first. So I wanna dwell on the monitoring of mentions, because we actually do this for Twitter. What we monitor is people who tweet about where can I buy or where can I find this item, and we simply reply to that. So all these social media channels, it's not just a one-way approach wherein you just keep on blasting all your content, but also you could there's a big purpose for that search bar on each of the social media channels, which is trying to find out what keywords you can monitor so that you could reply or engage with your customers. Because with our experience, the customers we're engaging with those kinds of tweets, where can I buy, where can I find, are very pleased with us replying to them, because their friends can't reply to them because their friends doesn't know where to buy those items. Only we can actually send a link and tell them that they could buy it. Participating in online forums and discussions. So there's a lot of forums. There's Pinoy Exchange, there's Reddit, Quora. So you could play around with that. For Reddit, for us, it's actually a big channel as well. So we're monitoring not just our brand, not just keywords, but also competitors. Just to find out, are the competitors actually active? If they're not active, that's actually a bonus for you, because it's if you have a better service, if you feel that you have a service good enough that you could mention back in that forum or discussion, you could loop yourself in. And the best way to do this would be to introduce yourself as a brand, because we actually did the other way, which was introduce ourselves as a customer, and that really didn't fly with the customers. So always introduce yourself as a brand. Responding to relevant groups. Groups such as Facebook groups are quite big. For us, we even tried creating some groups that we thought were kind of popular based on the trend of purchases on our website. So we created groups specific to those, catering to those products that people bought, and people actually started following those groups. So if you could actually join as a user, or you could invite yourself as an admin. You could reach out to that admin to participate in the discussion in the group, because these are very focused groups. Or you could even create your own group and be an administrator of that entire group, which means you have total control of the content. But then again, this is a Facebook group, so you still have to allow communication from members within that group. So this is a very interesting play. For us, it's just we're kind of starting it on and off kind of mode. We haven't really focused on this very much, but based on my discussion with other people who's doing this, some of them are actually quite successful with this play. Okay, so for offline, of course, you have the tri-media activities. I don't want to explain this anymore because this has been around for decades. Free, so you could actually try to collect email and contact information from your store, from events that you have, and any other opportunities there are wherein you could get information from customer. So of course they could acknowledge that they're allowing you to send information because of Data Privacy Act, right? Also for us, what we do is we put calling cards on packages we send out, not just on our own website, because of course they came from Galleon, they know Galleon already, but we're actually putting those cards on Lazada. Whenever there's an order on Lazada, we include our calling card. It's totally okay with Lazada for us to do that, as well as other online marketplaces that you're in. Because what you want to do is you want to introduce your brand, your company, your e-commerce site to the customer so that they get familiarized with it. You can also include your website on your packaging material. So on your tote bags or plastic bags, you could always put it there so that when the customers take home your packaging material, they could remember that you have a website, as well as whenever they commute, people could see. It's a basically free advertising for you. All right, let's go on now to email marketing. So email marketing is one of the highest converting sources for us, actually. Most likely, it's the same for all the other e-commerce sites. I would say. It's one of the cheapest form of marketing, because if you compare all the e-commerce, cheapest form in a sense that the cost per acquiring a customer is very cheap, but also the cost for any email marketing service is also cheap if you go around. So one example is MailChimp. They're actually offering free for up to 2,000 active emails. So if you want to try it out, you can just try MailChimp, see how it works for you. If you have a large email database, then just try a small batch of 2,000 emails, see how it works out for you. Remember, they only count the 2,000 active emails. This means when people unsubscribe, the unsubscribes are not counted. So that's how most email marketing or email websites count your active subscribers. And of course, if you want to clean out your email, that would be a good option as well. Cleaning it on a quarterly basis or a monthly basis, so that you could lower down your active emails, which means you have a lower cost on a monthly basis. Also, you have to consider, of course, if your audience have used or checked their email, because if they don't, then it doesn't make sense. So if your market is a bit older and they don't like email, they don't like new technology, they're on their dumb phones most of the time, then it doesn't make sense for you to actually consider email, right? So these are the paid, for email marketing, it's only paid, unfortunately, unless you can find a way, you have a service for a free email service, that'll be good. Or if it's included in one of your marketing service, say you availed for a specific marketing platform, sometimes it's already free or inclusive of that. Okay, so of course, number one would be newsletters. This would be in the form of promotion, offers, new products that you have, services, announcements, things like that. For newsletters, it would be nice if you could kind of segment your customers, because if you have a male and female segment, it doesn't make sense for you to send out female products for your mail unless you're encouraging them to buy female products for their wives. Email series, this has been quite effective for us. We set this up probably 2 or 3 years back. When we set up the welcome email series, email series that is sent every other 2 days for new subscribers. So the first email would welcome them, tell them a bit about the site. Now, email number 2 would tell them how the website would work. Number 3 would tell them about the benefits of the website and things like that. So you could structure your email series like that, so that it's you're basically slowly telling your customers what you have, what the benefits are in a digestive form, because you don't want to send them a whole very long email that they will only read on the first part, because once they find out it's too long, forget about it. They will just close it. So it's nice to send this out in chunks so it's digestible for any reader. So for us, we're actually revising the 4 email series to a 7 email series that would be spread out every other week, so that they kind of understand how the website works. And also important thing is we put in is a link back to the previous email series, because you could actually do that for some email services, wherein you could put a link at the bottom of the page wherein did you miss the last email series because you're already in the 4th. If you haven't read the 3rd or the 2nd, you just hit on the back button or on the links below, so that they could just either skip or fast forward to the next email series, so you understand more about the website. Drip email campaign is essentially email funnels. So when you acquire a customer by email, you want to slowly put them on a path wherein they will end up buying an item. So how do you do that? You start off with welcoming them, offering them something, or encouraging them to buy something. So you could do a lot with your emails. It could also play around with things that they do on your website. So for instance, they didn't do something on your website like a search. You could send them an email like this: hey, I'm encouraging you to search. Or it could be the other way around. If they search an item, then you could send them, hey, we saw that you search item. Is there anything we could help? Did you find your item? So that's a drip email campaign you could send them. Okay, I'll just skip on this because we ran out of time. So recapture sales will be cart abandonment series or abandonment series. Replenishment for out of stock. Thank you email for first-time purchases. Welcome and educational email series. I mentioned this before. Upsell, cross-sell products. So if you have anything similar products that the customer bought, you could just send them the products that has a higher value for you, or any related products. Re-engagement would be win-back emails, so that if you think they haven't gone back to the website and ordered again, and based on the schedules, they usually buy every 6 months, then you could send them an email to win them back so that they could order again. And then VIP emails would be emails specifically you send out for email top customers, right? So people who buy a lot from your website, because you want to treat them differently. Email surveys, and then milestone emails like birthdays of users. You could give a promotion. Okay, and then remarketing, very simply, remarketing, these are some of the channels you could look into: AdWords, RTB House, we currently use this, AdRoll. But these are ads that follow you, be it a static page, or it could even upload your product, so that when customers see your product on your website, go outside, that product could actually follow them, so that they could be reminded of missing out on a product. Facebook and Instagram, this could also be done via carousel ads and collection ads, like I mentioned before. And Facebook and Instagram, again, banner ads about brand story, features, promotion, video educational CVs also. And then email marketing, like I mentioned before, it's kind of in line with the drip email campaigns, where you follow them based on activities or actions they've done on your website. All right, so that's it for me.